Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Drew Cain's probe will ramp up over the next 2 weeks, from May 5th to May 16th, according to General Hospital teasers. Jack Brennan will also have a secret meeting. Jen Sidwell will also make a hazardous proposition, so there will be a lot of action on the ABC serial. Cody Bell will step up for the week of May 5th to 9th, after discovering a threat. Cody may play the hero at the bonfire and inform Dante Falconeri about Rocco Falconeri's inebriated ordeal. Dante will be furious when he learns about Rocco's underage drinking, and how he let Danny Morgan coax him into attending this college party. Jason Morgan will give Danny a stern scolding once he receives updates as well. Arrests may be made due to underage drinking during this bonfire. If Dante arrests Giovanni Gio Palmieri, he may jeopardize his position in PCU's music program. It would also cause some familial conflict because Dante and Gio are father and son, even if they don't realize it yet. Lois Cerullo appears to be terrified about Joe's impending trouble, and will implore Dante to smooth things down. Christina Corinthos Davis will try to make peace after receiving advice from Lucky Spencer, most likely with Alexis Davis. Christina may be willing to move past the papers she discovered that may have led to her conviction, but she still doesn't know the full story because Alexis is concealing Ava Jerome's blackmail. Nina Reeves will soon find that her strategy has failed completely, because Willow now believes Drew's account of events once ketamine is discovered in his system. Drew had a flashback to Tracy Quartermaine shortly before he was drugged, and may investigate her as a suspect. According to GH teasers, Drew's research will heat up and bring him to some vital information, but will it tip in the wrong direction? Nina and Portia Robinson will work together to conceal their tracks, but Portia will need to be cautious when she asks Willow for information later. Brad Cooper may decide that he's had enough of playing dirty for Portia. Could Brad choose to play dirty for Selena Wu instead, given that he is about to make a life-changing decision? Back with Nina, she'll meet up with Curtis Ashford to gripe about Drew's ability to slither out of trouble. Speaking of trouble, some will be brewing when Sasha Gilmore Corbin meets Willow. The customary tension will explode, resulting in Willow's confrontation with her former friend, but Sasha will give as good as she gets. Jocelyn Jacks will feel guilty about contaminating the information and undoing Emma Scorpio Drake's hard work once she returns the thumb drive to her. Nonetheless, Jocelyn will adhere to her objective of landing the research assistant position, and may learn more about her purpose once Brennan has a covert meeting. Jocelyn and Vaughn may learn some shocking information about Professor Henry Hank Dalton, and what the WSB hopes to discover. Meanwhile, Sidwell will have a dangerous idea to deliver, so he'll try to entice someone on canvas into a new deal. It's always risky to conduct business with Sidwell, so keep that in mind. Fans should find out the outcome of Kai Taylor's surgery between May 12th and 16th. Kai was hoping for the best before going into the operating room, but if the treatment fails, he may be devastated. In fact, because there is a potential of paralysis, Kai may wake up to find himself even worse off than before. Meanwhile, Drew will continue to investigate the drugging incident, so could there be clues that point to Nina and possibly even Portia in the end? Portia, particularly Nina, cannot get away with this forever, so it will be interesting to see how things unravel for them. Having said that, Drew is a manipulative monster who needs his own transgressions exposed. Michael Corinthos did not truly refuse Willow's travel to Germany, so may a phone call to Jason or Carly Spencer help clarify things up. It's easy to envision Jason looking into the situation and wondering if Drew played a role in ruining Willow's attempt to meet Michael. Of course, Jason may have more immediate concerns, such as ensuring Danny's safety and assisting Sonny Corinthos in determining the identity of his unknown enemy. General Hospital spoilers suggest that the secret enemy may strike again, so keep an eye out for any further unpleasant news. While she appeared to confess to Anna Devane about why she was jailed at her old institution and why her files were sealed, it now appears that her purpose may go beyond wanting to save the world. Is Emma a covert agent? Nothing gets past Anna Devane. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Anna, as a covert agent, has significant experience with super sleuthing. On Reality, as she stated on the Tuesday, April 29th show, she rarely believes in coincidences. Anna met Professor Henry Hank Dalton during the Savoy concert on April 29. After a conversation and some flirtation, she discovered that the PCU professor formerly taught at the same California university as Emma before they both arrived in Port Charles around the same time. While Emma said it was only a coincidence, Anna didn't buy it. Emma has developed a strong desire to work as Dalton's research assistant. Interestingly, newcomer WSB agent Jocelyn Jack Eden McCoy is also fixated on this post, but that's because it's tied to her first mission. Could Emma and Joss's fixation on Dalton be a coincidence too? Is Emma a WSB or DVX agent? Is Emma a WSB agent? And can the agency have two agents working on the same mission to assure success? Is Joss Emma's backup? Emma got into a lot of problems back in California, so the WSB may believe that a Plan B is needed as an insurance policy. However, it wouldn't be surprising if Jocelyn is being deceived by Jack Brennan. Anna went to great lengths along back, tossing Brennan and warning him not to approach her grandchild. This may have been a too little, too late threat. Perhaps Brennan had previously approached Emma and provided her with a WSB offer. There's also the possibility that she was recruited while attending university in California. Emma has a multitude of reasons to harbor a grudge against the WSB, so it wouldn't be surprising if she works for DVX instead. Emma's grandmother Anna, grandfather Robert Scorpio, and great-uncle Max Scorpio have all passed down superspy expertise to her. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Nina Reeves' plan to break up Drew Kane and Willow Tate Corinthos may have worked like a charm. Hiring escort Jacinda to drug the congressman was flawlessly executed. But as fans know all too well, secrets never stay secrets for long. What will Willow say to her mother when she realizes what she did? Nina Reeves dotted her I's and crossed her T's. According to General Hospital spoilers, Nina went to great lengths to pay Jacinda off and move her across the world, where she would never be found. Still, everyone knows that scams like these may come back to bite soap characters in the buttocks, so what if Jacinda comes to Port Charles once she's spent the wealth Nina paid her? The escort will undoubtedly be searching for more money to be quiet in the coming weeks or months. Portia Robinson assisted, while Brad Cooper did the dirty job of obtaining the medicines required to produce a loosey-goosey Drew, so Jacinda may not be need to return to expose Nina when everything is said and done. Willow Tate Corinthos lashes out. Willow is bound to learn of Nina's drastic measures to bury Drew, and if she is still smitten with the congressman when she finds out, things will turn ugly between the mother and daughter. What if Willow discovers that Nina has been concealing her previous experience with Drew? Heated sessions in which the two revealed why Drew was attempting to attract Willow. Willow may have 7 words that shake Nina. I no longer consider you my mother. Willow will undoubtedly disown Nina, especially if Drew is the one who exposes her for this crime, especially if he can persuade Willow into removing her mother from her life, as well as Wiley and Amelia Corinthos. According to General Hospital spoilers, a teaser clip for Friday, May 2, 2025, features teenagers consuming alcohol at a party. Meanwhile, Drew Kane receives the results of his drug test, and Carly Spencer confronts Nina Reeves. Continue reading to learn more about what will happen in today's episode of ABC soap drama. Teenage alcohol drama. Fans are aware that Danny Morgan got Rocco Falconeri to attend a college party with him. Standing with disposable cups in their hands, Danny explains this is how they blend. Fans know something is going to happen. Lulu Spencer's demand. Lulu Spencer demands answers from Dante Falconeri. The blonde wants to know why Brooklyn Quartermain's sentiments are more important than hers. It is also hinted that they will have an emotional talk, and while Lulu may be tempted to tell Dante the truth about the adoption, she will most likely remain silent for a while. Tracy Quartermain's discovery. General Hospital spoilers for today's episode suggest that Brooklyn will continue to open up to Tracy Quartermain, and the matriarch asks BLQ whether she regrets her decision. Lois Chirulo advises Maxie Jones that BLQ will need her friendship, and Maxie receives an ultimatum the same day. Friday, May 2, 2025. Emma Scorpio Drake and Giovanni Gio Palmieri continue to bond. Carly sticks a video in Nina's face and asks whether she is responsible. Nina debriefs Carly so she can admit how far she went to protect Willow Tate Corinthos. Drew receives his drug test results from Isaiah Gannon, which may jeopardize Nina and Portia Robinson's scheme, necessitating yet another test manipulation act by Brad Cooper. Also, Max Scorpio learns of a crime. Does this have something to do with Drew's drugging? It's easy to imagine Drew shouting and raving, demanding an investigation. Drew's entire world has suddenly been blown apart. Not only does he need to save his political career, but he will also want to keep Willow. Drew's crimes appear to be catching up with him, and Willow wonders if the drug test will turn him into a victim. Drew had always been a meticulous man, his sharp eyes missing nothing, his mind constantly piecing together fragments of information that others overlooked. It was this very trait that led him to the startling discovery, one that would unravel a web of secrets and set in motion a chain of events no one could have predicted. It began innocently enough, with a misplaced file in the archives of the company where he worked. Drew had stayed late, as he frequently did, sorting through. Drew's pulse quickened as he sifted through the documents. The numbers didn't add up. Large sums of money had been funneled through offshore accounts, and the meeting logs referenced high-level executives, including Brennan, the company's COO, discussing something called the transition. The last page was a single cryptic note. Once the deal is done, no one will question the losses. Drew's hands trembled as he realized what he was looking at. Evidence of corporate fraud. Drew arrived early the next morning, determined to dig deeper. He needed to know who else was involved and what the transition truly meant. But as he reached for the folder, it was gone. The cabinet was locked, and when he discreetly asked the records clerk about it, she claimed no knowledge of its existence. Drew knew then that he wasn't dealing with a simple cover-up. Someone was watching, and they were erasing their tracks. Meanwhile, Brennan was across town, seated in a dimly lit corner of an upscale restaurant, far from prying eyes. Across from him was a man Drew would never have expected, Senator Harold Sidwell, a powerful figure with ties to both business and government. Their conversation was hushed, their expressions serious. "You're sure no one knows about this?" Sidwell inquired, his voice quiet but forceful. Brennan replied, "The records are secure. Only a handful of people even knew about Project Phoenix, and they've all been compensated for their discretion." Sidwell leaned back, swirling his whiskey carefully. "And the investors? They'll be taken care of. Once the merger is finalized, the losses will be written off as market fluctuations." Sidwell's lips twisted into a tight smile. "Good. But we can't afford any loose ends. If word gets out before the deal is completed, we'll all suffer." Brennan's jaw tightened as he realized the gravity of the situation. If the truth was revealed, it would be more than just imprisonment. It would mean devastation. "I'll handle it," he muttered. But neither of them were aware of Drew's discovery, or how near he was to learning the truth. That same evening, Drew received a message from an anonymous sender. "You're asking the wrong questions. Meet me at the docks at midnight if you want answers." The message sent shivers down Drew's spine. Was this a trap? Or was there someone else who knew what was going on and wanted to help? Drew went against his better judgment. The docks were deserted, with only the lapping of waves against the piers and the distant hum of the city. A figure emerged from the shadows, a woman Drew recognized as Lydia Cole, a former financial analyst who had abruptly left the company months before. "I knew someone would find it eventually," she added, barely above a whisper. "I tried to expose it, but they silenced me. They threatened my family." Drew's heart hammered. What is Project Phoenix really about? Lydia glanced around anxiously before responding. "It's not just embezzlement. They're planning a hostile takeover, but not of another company, of the entire pension fund. They're going to drain it dry, blame it on bad investments, and walk away with billions while thousands of employees lose everything." Drew felt nauseous. The magnitude of the treachery was overwhelming. "We have to go public with this." Lydia nodded. "It's not that simple. Sidwell has connections everywhere: media, law enforcement, even the courts. If we accuse them without irrefutable proof, we'll disappear before the story ever gets out." Drew realized she was right. They needed leverage. Something so damning that even Sidwell couldn't hide it. Drew was brought to Brennan's office the next day. His boss's manner was placid, but his voice had an edge to it. "I've noticed you've been working late lately," Brennan said, his eyes drilling into Drew's. "Anything I should know about?" Drew mustered a smile. "Just trying to stay on top of things." Brennan gave a long nod. "Good. Loyalty is important in this company. You do well to remember that." Drew was now in perilous area, and the disguise threat was evident. That night he met with Lydia again, this time in a secure location, and they pored over every document they could find, looking for a flaw in Brennan and Sidwell's plan. Soaps.com has the most recent General Hospital spoilers from Monday, May 5th to Friday, May 9th. Cody finds himself in a precarious situation, Jason delivers some tough love, and a life-changing decision is made. Plus, Sasha and Willow square off. General Hospital spoilers for the week of May 5th. General Hospital spoilers for Monday, May 5th. Nina's plan goes wrong. Dante is furious. Cody stumbles into a perilous position. Carly counsels Lulu. Jocelyn feels guilty. Can't wait to go back, Laura Wright says as she leaves paradise behind. General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, May 6th. Lois pleads with Dante. Will Tracy be the one to realize that Gio is Brooke Lynn's son? Rocco offers an apology. Alexis is on the hot seat. Drew gets important information. Christina opens up to Lucky. General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, May 7th. Christina extends an olive branch. Lulu is grateful. Brooke Lynn is perplexed. Gio opens up to Emma. Brennan briefs Joss and Vaughn. General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, May 8th. Jason delivers some rough love. Dante opens out to Sunny. Brad makes a life-altering decision. Portia seeks information from Willow. Curtis and Nina sympathize. General Hospital spoilers for Friday, May 9th. Sasha and Willow had a heated interaction. Lulu questions Ned. Brooke Lynn and Chase meet with Alexis. Tracy is astonished. Sidwell submits an offer. This week's episode of General Hospital was packed with action. Between Nina and Portia drugging Drew and Brooke Lynn informing Granny that she had a baby in high school, there were some amazing surprises. Nina's latest strategy, however, backfired spectacularly, and everyone in Port Charles, with the exception of Dante, would soon be aware of Brooke Lynn's pregnancy. Let's talk about what happened on the ABC soap this week. Drew and Willow detractors had little time to celebrate their deaths on General Hospital because it only took him seconds to realize he had been drugged, and Willow promptly gave him the benefit of the doubt. Come on, writers, you might have had them both suffer a little longer. Portia should have known not to spike Drew's drink with ketamine, as it would have shown up in his blood tests, and she should have understood what medicines to use, given that she is a doctor. However, several of the drug-related quips made me laugh, such as Brad admitting he had no known Portia rolled that way when she asked for ketamine. Then Mac informed Drew that ketamine is a party drug, and asked if he was certain he hadn't taken too much of it. A detective like Mac believing that Special K is something Drew would be interested in demonstrates how far Drew has fallen as a person. Tracy was with Drew when Jacinda spiked his drink. Thus Drew suspects Tracy was behind it. However, this is going to boomerang back and bite Nina in the buttocks. Here's hoping that the truth about Scummy Drew is revealed at the nurses' ball, leaving Willow sad and devastated for more than 15 seconds. We as viewers deserve to watch Drew suffer. The latest worst-kept secret. Brooke Lynn informing Tracy about her baby, except that Dante is the father, and throwing Lulu under the bus to Granny was unexpected. Congratulations to the writers for that surprise. I really liked how Tracy was moved to tears as Brooke Lynn revealed what had occurred to her. Give Jane Elliott a Daytime Emmy for just one scene. Hell, award her an Emmy for being the show's saving grace lately. Now that Tracy is aware, we can definitely expect the investigation to begin, revealing Gio as Dante and Brooke Lynn's kid. This storyline has lasted far too long and must come to a conclusion. I've already stated that I could imagine Gio turning on Lois and even Brooke Lynn because he already had a mother he adored. However, because he never had a father, he was able to form a kinship with Dante. Tracy's relationship with Gio will most likely be critical in healing the damage that will occur when this truth is finally disclosed. Last week I raged about Lulu and her adoption story, and how she could have chosen any other topic to write about but decided to pitch that one on purpose in the hopes of being selected. It was great to see Lulu confess it, and Laura warns her daughter that if she reveals a secret that is not her own, she must be prepared to face the repercussions. Thank you, Laura, for pointing out your daughter's recent behavior. Laura telling Lulu exactly what Brooke Lynn has repeatedly told her has finally reached Lulu, now that it has come from her mother. Laura discussing her own switched-at-birth experience was also an excellent method to incorporate Laura's background into this plot. Final thoughts about the storyline. I've said it before, and it's an unpopular opinion, but I envision Emma being pulled into the WSB, if she isn't already there. Professor Dalton's arrival from the Bay Area, along with Emma's expulsion from Berkeley for what she discovered in their labs, seems far too coincidental, as Anna phrased it. Joss taking Emma's work for Dalton was a disgusting move. Furthermore, Emma appears to have enough evidence to claim Joss stole her model, given she designed it and can explain it in ways Joss most likely cannot. And, to be honest, Joss struggled in her pre-med studies, so I doubt she has what it takes to be a scientific genius and come up with what Emma achieved. Anna gunning down Dalton at the Savoy was hilarious. Sorry, Dalton. Just because you both have accents does not imply you should date. The moment Rocco and Danny arrived at the college beach party, it was clear that this would morph into an underage drinking scenario. Perhaps it will be Lulu's next major story for the Landview Banner. Also, why is she writing for another town's newspaper? Couldn't she have taken a position at the Invader, where she had previously worked? Writers, you failed to deliver on Alexis's commitment papers. Alexis failed to provide adequate answers to Christina and Molly about why she had them drawn up, and the tale vanished for the rest of the week. Maybe that's a blessing, as I'm sure some fans didn't mind the Davis sisters' vacation. Finally, Mike's visit while Sunny was under was another pleasant surprise this week. But does anyone really believe Sunny will leave the mob? Willow wants Drew to address her questions, Joss wants Vaughn to help her, and Brooke Lynn simply wants Lulu to leave. Willow, despite reluctantly allowing him in, wants nothing to do with Drew, who tries to explain himself while a happy Nina listens from the sidelines. He attempts to explain that it doesn't even sound like something he would do, but Willow wonders if she just doesn't know him. The video shows what the video shows, Nina shouts, striving hard to keep Willow from giving in to his arguments. He asks Willow to trust him, but she responds that is all she has done, and she may lose her children as a result of his activities. Willow discovered in Germany how much Michael hates her, and what she had done. Laura continues their chat from yesterday's episode, demonstrating her intuition by asking what her daughter is actually up to. Lulu tells her mother what she knows and that she is unsure what to do, without admitting that she is referring to Brooke Lynn's kid. Lulu is weary of being told it's not her secret to tell, but she wonders whether the burden of silence makes it her secret to disclose. Laura advises her not to play God in the lives of others. Laura discusses how hard her own situation was with Nicholas and advises Lulu to approach with caution. Tracy is laughing with delight as she reads about Lulu's video of Drew's exploits. I'm sending that gal flowers right now, Tracy says, pressing all of Brooke Lynn's buttons by dubbing the blonde a national treasure. She storms off and Chase follows, discovering that she is completely freaked out by the notion that Lulu is writing an adoption story for the Landview Banner. Chase attempts to calm her down, but it's not going to work. He proposes they go talk to Dante, but she declines, explaining that she is torn between seeking out her child and leaving him alone. But all she really wants is for Lulu to back off. Chase comes over to Dante's and demands that Lulu stop bothering Brooke Lynn. The guys argue, with Chase begging his friend to persuade Lulu not to tell the story. Brooke Lynn apologizes to Tracy, who prefers an explanation rather than a mea culpa. Why is Brooke Lynn so riled up over Lulu? Especially given that Brooke Lynn has a lot better life situation than her competition. Yet, despite everything, Lulu's sheer presence agitates you. Why is that? Tracy wonders. Gio discusses AJ's death with Tracy after hearing Jason's account. Needless to say, she still does not believe the story Sunny has been presenting for years. She also ensures that Gio understands one of Port Charles's unbreakable rules. Sunny does Jason's dirty job, whether it involves firing the trigger or uttering a lie. She also mentions that Jason's move to the Quartermain home was not easy. She feels Gio, like Jason, has a lot of potential. She just hopes Sunny does not take that away from him in the same manner that the maid man did Jason. Joss and Emma are both in the hospital to support Trina and Kai, the latter of whom has surgery scheduled for today. After discussing Professor Dalton's extra credit project, Vaughn invites her to a corner for an update. She tells her story. Dalton used a keycard to get entrance to a hospital room, where he removed a briefcase before meeting Anna at the Savoy. Vaughn appears impressed by the information she's provided. Emma later invites Joss to a party happening that night. Meanwhile, Trina kisses Kai for good luck as he is wheeled into surgery before joining Joss and Emma in the waiting area. They assist keep her safe from the documentary director. Emma completes the data collection required for her work with Professor Dalton. Joss approaches Vaughn at the elevator bank and discreetly informs him that she requires his assistance in retrieving the information containing thumb drive, copying the data, corrupting it, and returning it to Emma without her knowledge. Vaughn asks if she's okay with basically betraying a buddy. Dante receives a call from Yuri informing him that Rocco and Danny have made a terrible mess at the Quartermain boathouse. Dante confronts the lads, telling them they're old enough to know better, and that they should go clean up after themselves. While there, the boys decide to crash the beach party, despite the fact that it is intended for college students. In the final minutes, Drew begs Willow to give him another opportunity. She's never known him to drink or do drugs, let alone act like he did last night. He's going to the hospital for a blood test and requests that she accompany him, which she grudgingly agrees to do. Laura visits Jish to sit with Trina while Kai is in surgery. Dante informs Lulu that he wants her assistance with Brooke Lynn. And after an intense confrontation with Tracy, Brooke Lynn tells her grandmother that Lulu knows she had a baby in high school and is holding it over her head. Drew, on his knees and quivering with desperation, begs Willow's forgiveness. His eyes are filled with guilt, and his hands shake as he reaches for hers, but she backs away, her expression a mix of pain and confusion. The weight of his mistakes sits heavy between them, creating a divide that is hard to cross. He had believed he could keep his secrets hidden, that the lies would not catch up with him, but now everything is unraveling. Willow's once unwavering confidence has been destroyed, and no amount of pleading appears to be enough to rebuild it. She turns away, her heart aching, refusing to allow herself to be hurt again. Drew's words ring in the silence, hollow and insufficient, as he realizes the extent of the harm he has inflicted. Meanwhile, Joss observes in the shadows a sneer on her lips. She had been waiting for this moment, biding her time while Drew and Willow's relationship deteriorated. Now, with Drew at his lowest, she sees an opportunity, one she will not pass up. Joss has always been calculated, her movements exact, and her intentions concealed beneath a veneer of camaraderie. But underneath the surface, animosity is simmering. She has been disregarded and underestimated, and now she is prepared to strike. As Drew continues to plead with Willow, unconscious of the fury developing behind him, Joss sneaks away, her thoughts already racing with her next action. She understands just how to take advantage of the circumstance, how to twist the knife just enough to assure Drew's ultimate demise. Her betrayal is meticulously planned, with no possibility for atonement. She has gathered facts and secrets of her own, and she wants to use them at the appropriate time. The game is in action, and Joss is desperate to win. Willow, still grieving from Drew's confession, feels like the walls are closing in on her. She believed in him and defended him even when others doubted. Now the truth is too much to handle. Every word he says feels like a lie, another layer of dishonesty she can't get past. She wonders if she truly knew him at all. The love they once shared feels like a distant memory, shrouded by betrayal. Part of her wants to think he's honest, that his guilt is genuine, but the agony is too recent and the wounds are too deep. She takes a step back, shaking her head, her voice barely above a whisper as she informs him that it's over. Drew's heart sank. He hoped, foolishly, that she would understand and give him another chance. But the look in her eyes tells him all he needs to know. There's no turning back now. He rests his head in his hands, the weight of his actions crushing him. He had risked everything for selfish motives, and now he is paying the price. The thought of losing Willow forever is devastating, but he knows he can only blame himself. Joss, who has now left the scene, makes a phone call. Her voice is smooth and confident as she shares the information she has been keeping back. The person on the other end is listening closely, their attention peaked. Joss understands that this is the beginning of Drew's end. By the time she's finished, his reputation and connections will be ruined. She hangs up, a sense of fulfillment surging through her. This is exactly what she wanted all along, to see him suffer and experience the same powerlessness she did. Back with Willow, the silence is overwhelming. She stares at the ground, her thoughts whirling. Part of her wants to flee away from the situation Drew has gotten her into. But another half, the part that loves him despite everything, is hesitant. She wonders if individuals can actually change, and whether second chances are worth the risk. But then she remembers the lies and treachery, and her resolve stiffens. She can't go back after this.